We're almost there. Almost time for week one, Eagles-Cowboys.
Yeah, it's really exciting. Exciting time. Couple days to kick off. There's nothing like opening day in the NFL. I mean, it's really, I guess because the buildup is like so long. Free agency and the draft and training camps and OTA. It's just so you finally get here and it's like, is it really going to happen? They're actually going to play a football game.
The other day, Saquon Barkley was like, yeah, we haven't played since February 9th. I was like, yeah, I know. It's also the shortest layoff of anyone else in the league as well.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, it's interesting. I think the team is like, they were very low key in the locker room. Guys were focused and the last thing you think of is like, you can't tell the difference between the locker room now and OTA. Well, we're not in the locker room OTAs, but you know what I mean. I mean, they just seem really focused and ready.
Yeah, and so are we. This is the Eagle Eye Podcast brought to you by Nissan, Reuben Frank, and Dave Zangaro. We do have a lot to talk about today. We want to get into the matchup, Eagles versus Cowboys. It obviously changed within the last week or so with that Micah Parsons trade. So we'll dive into the player matchups in this one. Some injury news to update. We have questions coming up at the end. But Reuben, I like that you mentioned how calm the locker room was, just typical business as usual. Because they're going to be business as usual on Thursday night, Nick Sirianni said his team will not be on the sideline for the banner unveil.
Yeah, it was interesting. He was asked about it, and he said he didn't know about it. And then he said they weren't going to be out there for it, which how do you know they're not going to be out there if you didn't know about it? But be that as it may, I think it's the right thing to do. And he's preached even keel. He's preached moving on. He's preached forgetting the Super Bowl. You can't do that and then have them out there getting emotional and watching the banner unfurled. So I think it's the right thing to do. I think they'd be okay. I think it's a pretty kind of locked in team. I think they'd be okay otherwise, but I like the message it sends. And this team, look, it's opening day. Even the least bit of focus that's lost because of that could cost you a game. So I think it's the right thing to do, and I'm glad he's doing it.
Earlier in the week, Jordan Mailata said he was going to look down.
He can still do that.
He can still do it. I don't know. I bet you a few players are going to take a little peek up there in the rafters as they run out.
You think? Oh, when they run out.
When they run out. Yeah, especially because they run out of the tunnel like with a perfect view of where the banner is.
Yeah.
And it's already up there.
Yeah.
They just have to take away the
covering
of it. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess.
I would take a peek.
I don't think that's going to have any huge effect on it. I think just the crowd and the actual unfurling or unveiling, whatever you want to call it.
They'll at least feed off the energy because it's going to be a wild atmosphere if everyone can get into the stadium on time.
Yeah, we'll get into that a little bit later, but get there early. But I think it was Adoree Jackson yesterday said, if joint practice was a 10 as far as energy and crowd noise, it's going to be 100.
You mean the public practice?
A public practice.
Okay.
I'm sorry, not joint practice. Yeah. Although that was pretty.
That was fun. Yeah.
That was exciting too. But yeah, it's going to be 100. I mean, imagine as crazy as it was for that, it's going to ramp up tenfold. And gosh, it's going to be amazing. I mean, you have primetime Cowboys opener, home, the banner, everything it's going to be crazy.
Yeah, it's almost one of those situations where the crowd is going to be so amped up that the players have to feed off of it, but not get too amped up themselves.
Yeah.
And we've seen that before.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, you guard against that naturally. But if you remember the last time this game happened in 2018, it was not a pretty game. It was kind of a slog early in that one.
Yeah, it was. But I think that does happen on opening day too. You get some.
In general.
Yeah, you get some ugly games. It's the first time, this is going to be the first time this team play. They didn't play together in preseason. So it's going to be the first time we've seen this group of coaches and players on both sides of the ball together. So it's bound to be some sloppiness and some moments that aren't pretty. But I think after maybe the first quarter and half, first couple series, get down to business.
Yeah. We have some injury stuff to get to.
We do.
And this is updated right now. It's Tuesday afternoon. We watched them at practice today. The injury report is not out. There's a chance it comes out while we're recording this. If it does, we'll update you then. Landon Dickerson was back at practice on Tuesday. This is completely new from the last time we did a pod. He has a back injury. So the knee from that meniscus surgery, no longer the issue. It's now a back.
And this is what you're going to get from Landon Dickerson. I mean, this is why he wasn't a first-round pick. He just gets hurt. And he's had a ton of injuries, and he plays through them. And for the most part, when he can, he's a tough dude. He's a gamer. And I'll be shocked if he's not out there for the first offensive snap on Thursday night. But it's just another thing to deal with, and he's had a lot.
Yeah, I'll speculate a little bit. I mean, it's possible that having a knee injury changes the way you move,
Sure.
and then you tweak your back because of it. I don't know if that's the case. He could have hurt it doing a number of things. But
what's like that the neck bones connected to the.
It is all connected.
It's all connected. Like, I'd like to take a holistic approach to physiology.
Do you?
Yeah. Well, my dad was a physiologist.
Mhm.
So, like, I learned about that stuff when I was like 6. He would be lecturing me about all the interconnected everything. But yeah, I mean, anytime you have an injury, it can, if you're, that's why you have so many like people that tear their right ACL and then they tear their left one like a year later. It happens all the time because you change the way you walk, you change the way your gait, and it leads to other injuries. But hopefully he's fine. And we don't really have a sense of how serious the back is, but the fact that he was out there today is certainly encouraging. I can't imagine a scenario where he's not starting.
Yeah, if he can be out there, we've seen Landon do this long enough. Just in the playoffs, like he's going to be out there.
Yeah,
and if not, Brett Toth did get the reps on Monday, so that was the surprise of Monday's practice. We get out there and there's no Landon; it's Brett Toth at left guard, and then we find out it's not even the knee anymore; it's now the back injury. So. A little bit of a surprise there, but you and I were talking just off camera, off air about, like, is it better or worse that it's not the knee? My inclination was it's better. It's like a better sign that it's not the knee.
Yeah, I kept going back and forth on that because you don't want a new injury, but it does tell you that the knee is hit. I mean, he's not even listed. It doesn't even have knee in the injury report.
Mm-hmm.
So the knee's 100% according to.
Well, or at least it wouldn't limit him in practice.
Exactly. So, but then again, it's a new injury. But the fact that he practiced tells you it's not debilitating. So, but I'll tell you what, back pain, if you've ever had back pain, it's tough to do anything. I mean, just
does that include play left guard in the National Football League?
Well, he's a tough dude.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think he'll be fine. I'm not saying they shoot guys up either, but there's ways to get through.
There are pain management protocols.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, I'd assume we'll see him out there. The other one, Tanner McKee, did not practice on Monday, and kind of a weird injury report thing this week because of the Thursday game. They are required to release an injury report Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. They're not practicing on Wednesday, but that's when the game status is, the questionables or the out designation. That's when they come out. So we haven't gotten that far in the process.
Yeah. I mean, in general, they're a very healthy team. And
sure. Yeah.
That's the most important.
And that's the other thing. AJ Brown, not on the report. Devontae Smith, not on the report. Keely Ringo, not on the report. Those are the guys who, obviously Keely's not a starter anymore, but those are the guys who had injuries at the end of camp, and you wondered if they were going to linger into the season.
Right. And one thing I think Nick does really well is balance getting all the work in that you need and having a physical camp with also being healthy on opening day. And he's talked in the past about how important the opener is to him. And he spends a lot of time on figuring out how to be 100% as a team by the opener. And it is. I mean, it's a real tone setter. And you can certainly win a Super Bowl if you lose in the opener. But if you win that game, it's just a great way to start the season. He puts a lot into it. And he found a way to have a pretty tough physical training camp and have a healthy team going to the opener. That's big.
What is your read on the Tanner McKee situation? Did not practice on Monday. When we're out there early on Tuesday, it looked like he wasn't throwing a football. He was just kind of back there with the quarterbacks. Do you think it's Sam Howell as the backup? And then is the 3 getting Kyle McCord up, or is it Tanner McKee in an emergency situation?
Yeah, without knowing how serious exactly and how much it's going to affect him, it's hard to say. Can he still spin it with a thumb? I mean, I don't know. I think he would be the 3. And you'd probably rather have him
hand the ball off.
Maybe I assume he can throw some dump offs. Gosh, we saw that with what's his name when he got hurt and couldn't play and had to go back in the game.
Josh McCown?
No, never mind.
How long ago we talked?
The quarterback who's playing the Eagles, he gets hurt, and I'm just totally drawing a blank. And then the backup gets hurt, Josh Johnson, and he comes back, and the starter comes back in the game, but can't do anything. You know who I'm talking about?
Was that the Commanders?
It was Brock Purdy. Yeah, Brock Purdy.
Oh, it was Brock. Oh,
yeah.
in the
Thanks.
Yeah, in the NFC Championship.
NFC Championship.
Okay,
yeah, it was way back then.
I
remember Josh Johnson, but I don't remember Brock Purdy.
You didn't. So, like, when you say that quarterback who got hurt against the Eagles, that could be last year. That could be 1988.
It was Mark Rippon.
That's why I got confused.
I started out confused, but anyway, I think Sam Howell might be number 2.
I think that's the way it's looking, at least right now. And he's had to cram just to get ready to play, but I think they'll be okay with him.
Kevin Patullo
said, hope you don't see him anyway. Yeah,
Kevin Patullo said he's been amazing as far as learning the offense, and Sam told us that he's just been in the book since he got here. Not ideal, but I think it's trending that way. But hey, maybe Tanner will be okay.
All right, we'll take a break. Matchups when we come back.
Yeah,
let's do it.
You deserve a car that thrills you, a car that puts goosebumps on your goosebumps. At Nissan, we've got everything from turbocharged SUVs to 100% electric vehicles that'll make your heart beat faster. Experience the thrill for yourself and shop your local Nissan store and NissanUSA.com today.
We are back on the Eagle Eye Podcast, brought to you by Nissan. This line for the game has been moving. It was 6.5 to start, and then after the Micah trade went up to 7.5. It's up to 8.5.
Yeah, I saw 8 and 8.5 as of today. It's a pretty big number. Yeah, it's a little scary. I mean, this is a game the Eagles should dominate and win convincingly. But yeah, weird things happen in openers, so it's gonna be interesting. Dak's played well against this team. We haven't seen Dak in 2 years, so at least the Eagles haven't seen him. So I'm not sure what Dak we're gonna get. Eagles-Cowboys is always interesting.
It should be a fun game. Let's get into the matchups. We would have obviously led with, what do they do against Micah Parsons? Obviously, they had been game planning for week 1. You got a little head start with that one. So a lot of it changes when you don't have Micah Parsons, but it's not unlike a late injury that pops up and you kind of scrap part of your game plan.
Yeah, I mean, I think it changes a lot. And Nick Sirianni's like, well, Kenny Clark's a really good player. Like he's fine, but yeah, this changes everything. And I think it really gives you a little more flexibility on offense to do some things without having to worry about him. And when you face Micah, like everything starts with blocking that guy and making sure he doesn't wreak havoc, which isn't always easy to do. Isn't always possible to do. So,
and for the most part, they've done like a decent job against Micah, but in order to do that, they've really game planned and they've allocated a lot of resources to making sure he doesn't kill them.
Yeah. So they'll get him soon enough, but just once.
Yeah. So my first matchup in this one is the Eagles' interior offensive line against Kenny Clark and against Osa Odigizua. Very different players. Obviously, Kenny Clark more of a run stuffer, and they need that, I guess, but. He hasn't given much in the pass rush game, had 1 sack last year.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably beyond his prime as someone who can rush the passer. Odigizua is a really good pass rusher, undersized, the kind of like sneakily small and fast interior lineman that can give some issues to guards. Yeah,
he's a pretty good player. And, if Landon's less than 100%, and who knows where he'll be, but it's a little bit of a concern if he's not completely healthy, but not like blocking Micah, but yeah, they're formidable guys.
Yeah. And we think Tyler Steen is going to be the weak link on the offensive line. Not a knock on him. Just you have 4 really good guys and then a replacement from last year's starter. And I think Steen's going to be solid, but it's an interesting test for him in this first week.
It is. And I think he's really taken that weak link thing to heart. We talked to him about that. The question was asked very diplomatically, carefully. You've got a second-team All-Pro at left tackle, a 3-time Pro Bowler at left guard, and a Pro Bowler at center, and a likely Hall of Famer at right tackle, and then you. I think it was Zach Berman that asked the question. Yeah, but I think, he said, I just don't want to be the guy that lets the other guys down. And he doesn't have to be an All-Pro or a Pro Bowler. Just go out there and be solid and be consistent, and everybody will be thrilled with him. When you have those 4 guys on an O-line, unless your right guard is really, really bad, you're going to have a good O-line. So I'm really curious to see Tyler and how he plays. And, I think his confidence, even like when we interviewed him the other day, he was more confident just speaking to us. And I actually talked to him about this. He said, when you're more confident in yourself as a player, you can go out there and be more confident in an interview because you kind of believe what you're saying and you believe in yourself. And I'm not sure he had that the last 2 years. So excited to see him play.
I think you used your time with Tyler Steen this week better than I did.
Oh, yeah.
I just talked to him about the fact that there are 3 Tylers on the Cowboys starting offensive line and how weird that is.
I had a few of those conversations over the last few days, but it was good because this is the first few days we've been in the locker room. So all those conversations that I've wanted to have with guys, mainly about track, I finally got to have, and other things.
Mostly.
But I did talk to Tyler about that, just BSing with him. And he thinks there's something to it. He said, I'm just more comfortable in my own skin.
I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
It's Tyler Guyton at left tackle, Tyler Booker at right guard, and Tyler Smith at left guard. 3 Tylers. 3 of the 5 linemen are Tylers.
Yeah, that's crazy. And the lead singer of the Tisburys, Tyler Assay. So there's another one.
We're just saying Tylers we know?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
How common a name is that? Is that a pretty common name now?
Yeah.
Like, did the Eagles have Tylers back in the day? I remember a lot of Tylers.
I don't know.
All right. Anyway, keep talking.
Saquon Barkley, pretty good guy. Actually voted number 1 in the NFL Top 100 poll, which, yeah, it's a little goofy, but it is an honor. It's something that is voted on by players.
Yeah, I was a little surprised to see that.
Were you?
Well, just because of running backs. I mean, I think those things are really geared toward quarterbacks and receivers.
Mm-hmm.
I probably would have voted for him number 1, but I was just a little surprised that players did.
Yeah, it makes sense though. I mean, what a season. And it's fun to I listed all of his accolades last night, and it's just in 1 year, this guy was 4-time NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He was a Pro Bowler. He was an All-Pro. Cover of Madden. 99 Club on Madden.
And ran for 500 yards in the postseason.
Yeah. Sets the all-time record, regular season and postseason. 9th guy over 2,000 yards. Offensive Player of the Year. Super Bowl champion. Number 1 on the top 100.
6 60-yard touchdowns. It's crazy. I mean, if you took his 6 60-yard touchdowns away, he'd still lead the league in rushing. Mm-hmm. That's insane.
I love that it was supposed to be more accolades, but you just love stats.
Well, I guess it's not technically an accolade. I'm looking for Tylers. Let's see how many Tylers they've had before. None. Tyler Steen's the first one. Never had a Tyler.
Who played in a regular game? They had that cornerback recently.
Tim McTyler.
No, who was the nickel corner they had? Last year. Do you remember who? Oh man, that's gonna bother me. I don't know how to search.
Brock Purdy.
They had a
you're gonna make me.
Yeah, it was Tyler Hall.
That's where I lived my freshman year at Ohio Wesleyan. Tyler Hall.
Remember him? Little nickel corner?
I don't. I remember Andy Hall, Chad Hall, DeAndre Hall, Rhett Hall, and Ron Hallstrom.
I think the Cowboys' run defense is going to be better this year.
I don't think it'll be appreciably better.
It was pretty bad. And, Jerry Jones in his press conference after the Micah trade, if you could listen to that, it was talking about Kenny Clark and we needed someone to stop the run. And I don't know if this is the right way to do it, but I mean, he could theoretically make them a little bit better against the run for their sake. Like Mozzie Smith, who they drafted in the first round, has just not been what they thought he would be, even as a run stuffer. They were pretty bad last year against the run. They were 29th overall, 137.1 yards per game, 4.8 yards per attempt. Gave up a ton of yards before contact. So it wasn't even like it was just bad tackling. It was bad all around.
I'm surprised the Packers would even give up Kenny Clark for Mike, 30-year-old interior lineman
on the decline.
Yeah. They were really bad against the run. And look, that wasn't Micah's strength, so they might be a little better without him. But
and a new system. They have Matt Eberflus. They call him Flus. Yeah, I don't know if the defense is going to be great, but it'll be different, and that there's a challenge in that alone.
Yeah, no question. And he's a guy that Kevin Patullo's worked with, Nick's worked with, obviously.
Former coach, and he was the defensive coordinator in Indy while Nick was the offensive coordinator.
Right. So they've gone up against.
Then obviously became a head coach, and that didn't work out great.
Yeah. Yeah. So I can't wait to see how that running game looks Thursday night. How much Kevin Patullo is going to dial it up with Saquon. Do you just go back to let's give him 26 carries and see what happens? Does Dallas sell out against the run? How does Jalen look in this new offense, new coordinator, new play caller, throwing the ball? There's so many fascinating things we're going to see Thursday night that we've kind of speculated about all offseason, and we're going to see them come to life.
Yeah, I think there's going to be some natural regression in the run game in terms of the volume. I don't necessarily think it's going to be game plan centric. Like, I don't think they're going to go into the season saying we want to balance it out. I think it's going to be kind of a natural progression as teams really fight to stop Saquon in that running attack. I think they're going to naturally pass the ball more. And we kind of came to this conclusion, or at least my thoughts on this when we did our predictions for some of the stats earlier in the week.
No, I think you're right. I like what Nick said today. There wasn't a lot in his presser, but he did talk about, and he said this before, just about, and I guess I'm hypocritical saying this, but how he doesn't measure anybody by their stats, but by how much they're contributing to the team winning. Mm-hmm. And obviously Jalen was an example of that. And because so many people point to 18 touchdown passes and however many passing yards he had. What do you have, 2,900 last year or something?
Yeah, under 3,000.
Under 3,000. But he did everything he had to do for the team to win a Super Bowl. So it's kind of hard to, but we're a society that just kind of measures. Like, I think stats are fun, but I also don't think that's the way to measure greatness all the time. But they're just fun.
Yeah.
They're fun if you're into that stuff. But I thought, I like what Nick said about that.
Yeah. He has a new saying this year.
He does.
Contribution over credit.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that one?
Well, like he said, like, I can't keep saying the same thing. By the end of the year, guys will get tired of it. They won't hear it. So he's got a new cliche, and we'll see how it goes.
I like the one. So Saquon filled us in on one Nick used at OTAs, and it was, if you think you're the reason why we won the Super Bowl last year, you're exactly right. If you think you're the only reason why we won the Super Bowl last year, you're exactly wrong. It's pretty good.
That's good.
Yeah.
You think Dom writes these for him?
No, I think Nick's good at it.
You think he comes up with them?
Yeah. Eagles receivers against Cowboys cornerbacks. Trevon Diggs might not play in this game. He's been dealing with an injury. It kind of seems like he won't play.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes. Without him, they're in a little bit of trouble because their depth is taking a hit going into this season.
Yeah. He's such a playmaker. So without him, maybe that's a reason to throw more. You got to like the matchups.
Yeah, they have Elam on the other side, and then Deron Bland, who just got paid, by the way.
What do you get, 94 over 4?
Yeah, something like that. A big contract.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that matchup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think, like I said, I don't know if it's going to be super game plan heavy, like we got to come out and throw the ball and show that we can throw the ball. But if they can't run, and I still suspect they'll be able to run on this Cowboys team, even with Kenny Clark. But if for some reason they do get bottled up, I think they'll have success through the air too.
Agree.
Okay. All right. Want to flip to the other side. Even though they have Pickens now, Kenny Pickens, I think that it starts with CeeDee Lamb still. And he plays so many of his snaps. It's about half of his snaps in the slot. So it's going to be a big game for Cooper when they're a nickel.
Yeah, look, he's a top 3 wide receiver in the league. Quignon shut him down. And he's talked about that. And I totally missed that. And but he's really, really good. Big, tough, physical guy. It's a fun matchup.
Yeah, he's so good. And he plays inside and outside. So I've gotten questions about this. Like, would Quinyon Mitchell, if he travels this year, would he travel into the slot? Like, I don't think that's the traveling, because you have Cooper in the slot when you're a nickel. So it's really side to side. So maybe this is a game where, you kind of, there's different ways to handle it. But I think when he goes inside, it's going to be Cooper on him.
I would agree. And Pickens, George Pickens has been a good player.
I said Kenny Pickens earlier.
Yeah, might have.
I think I said Kenny Pickens, and
they were teammates.
Because I'm so used to Kenny Pickett.
They were teammates.
I think I said Kenny Pickens.
So it's okay.
Yeah. Definitely George.
Definitely George. He had the one big year 2 years ago. He's solid. I think he's kind of overall been a little bit of a disappointment. He was a 2nd-round pick out of Georgia.
Yeah. Really talented player. I think he brings a combustible nature to that locker room.
That's a fair way to characterize it. But he's got so much talent. He's a guy that, like, if he ever puts it together, he'll have like a 1,400-yard season.
Yeah, he's super talented. And, if you end up with him on a Dory Jackson in this game, like, that's obviously a big size mismatch that you would think the Cowboys would want to take advantage of.
Yeah. But Dory Jackson, who placed 10th in the Olympic trials in the long jump, 25.8.5.
How long before Dory's like, all right, I've talked enough track?
No. It's not going to happen.
Okay. You found a track guy.
Yeah, I did.
Has he replaced the Devin Allen void in your life?
Devin Allen didn't really like talking track. But
no?
No. I think because he was trying to establish that he was a football guy.
Yeah.
He hasn't run since that injury, has not raced. It's a shame.
It's a shame. My next matchup is Jalen Carter against Tyler Booker. And we know they're going to double Jalen Carter, but you can't double a guy for every single snap he's out there. And the Cowboys are going to have a rookie starting guard, and he lines up on Jalen Carter's side. So there are going to be some snaps in this game. Jalen Carter one-on-one, the 1st-round rookie, but still a rookie.
Yeah, I'm curious how much they will double him. I think it's an opportunity for him to have a big game, though.
I do too. I think it'll be a lot. The answer to that question is a lot, and that's going to be the answer to that question.
And
every single week.
That'll mean somebody else is singled and has a really good matchup.
Morrow steps into
game.
That Milton role.
Yeah.
Maybe Jordan Davis a little bit too, but certainly Morrow on like 3rd downs when Jalen Carter gets doubled. That's his chance.
Yeah.
Excited to see him in that role. All right. So what do you think about the Eagles secondary against Dak in this game?
Dak's a guy's had a ton of success against the Eagles, but obviously missed both games last year. So he hasn't played against them since 23, but his last 10 games, 8-2 with 22 touchdowns, not 25. I counted wrong, and just 4 interceptions. So he's always played well against this team, but it's a different defense. It's a different coach. He's never faced Vic since Vic has been here. Hasn't faced Quignon or Cooper or Jahad Campbell or Zach Bond. So it's a completely different, almost different defense. He was starting to show signs of maybe not being the same player before he got hurt last year. Now, maybe he was banged up, but I kind of like the matchup. I think the Eagles have a chance to really shut him down with this defense.
Yeah, and I think he's good for a few turnover-worthy plays a game. It's something that, there have been moments in his career where he hasn't turned the ball over, but in the last few years, it has been an issue. And even last year before he got hurt, he was coughing it up.
He was. And I think with the pressure he's going to be under with the crowd and the crowd noise and this secondary, this defense, I think they have the potential to make it a really long day for Dak.
Yeah, that's what I keep coming back to with Prescott is that, there's this thought that when he's back, the Cowboys are just automatically going to be way better. they stunk last year with Dak at quarterback. They were 3-5.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't like they were good with Dak last year. And then it unraveled once he was out, but it wasn't like they were on their way to the playoffs with him last year.
I think Cooper Rush was better than him, right?
Well,
Was
Cooper Rush got off to a decent start, right?
Yeah, at first. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Dak's what's Dak, like 31? How old's Dak? Like his best days. He's 32.
Yeah.
Yeah, his best days are in the rear view mirror.
Oh man, Pro Football Reference just updated it. You know, on the front of the site, it has the standings.
Yeah.
It updated.
I saw that. Yeah.
It's now wow. It says 2025. That's how you know it's
I saw that earlier today.
Wow, that's exciting.
I shed a tear. Yeah, Dak's had a weird career. I mean, for all the regular season success, he's won 2 playoff games.
Yeah.
And you know, he's really had 2.
You can say the same thing about Tony Romo before him. Like, very similar in some ways.
There's something wrong with that franchise.
You don't think?
It's just a messed up franchise. And the Eagles are lucky. But yeah, I think they have a chance to make it a really long day for Dak.
I really do. And I am so skeptical about him in that offense and that team in general. And after the Micah trade, we didn't talk about just the locker room nature of a trade like that.
Yeah.
I wonder what it does if it's just like, if it just seeps into the entire building and guys are like, what are we doing here?
How does it not?
I would think it would a little bit, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Unless, and look, we're not there. We're not at Valley Ranch, but unless there's a lot of players that didn't like him. And you mentioned the other day that some guys were turned off by stuff that happened on this podcast.
There's reporting out there to support that, but it came out after the trade.
Yeah.
So you don't really know.
Yeah. That's probably the Cowboys planning that. Yeah. So it's, that kind of stuff can make a big impact. Like the guys are saying, like how much do these guys really want to win?
Yeah.
How much
right? Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
I think there's a decent shot that it goes poorly this year and they unload Dak.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, he'll be 33 and he's won 2 playoff games. And really, when you look at it, he had the great year as a rookie and he had a really good year 2 years ago. And he's been an average quarterback like every other year, pretty much. So I think they got to really start thinking about the next guy.
I agree.
They'll have a pretty high pick.
And then they'll have a pretty late first round pick too.
Yeah.
For the next 2 years.
Yeah.
I still can't believe that happened. People don't want to hear us talk about that anymore.
Probably not. But
gosh, what in the world are they doing?
Yeah. I thought it was a joke. I didn't think it was real.
My last matchup is Kevontae Turpin. I add him every time they play a Kevontae Turpin or Nixon, like one of those great return men. He's dangerous. And especially the NFL is incentivizing kick returns even more this year, moving the touchback from the 30 to the 35.
You might just sign up for the 35.
With him, maybe. Yeah, especially if you have a good feeling that you're going to win this game and you have, you're a better team. Why give that player a chance to flip it?
He's so good. He's so good with the ball in his hands. And yeah, that's once he turns that corner, he sees things really well. The thing is, like he'll field it in the back of the end zone and take it out. I mean, he's so confident in himself. So be interesting to see how Michael Clay and the guys, Jake Elliott, handle it. But I would just keep the ball out of his hands as much as possible.
Yeah, he might just seed the 35-yard line.
Yeah, which isn't ideal. I mean, that's
it's
a
and I think there's a difference between the more we keep doing this and you're cutting down on the length of field to travel, it does change the dynamic. And look, if the NFL wants to encourage kick returns, I think they are doing it.
No doubt. I mean, that's a big difference, the 30 to 35.
Yeah.
It's 5 yards. I thought you were going to say.
No, it is a big difference. It's and I'm curious to see what it does because no one's really shown their cards yet.
Yeah.
In the preseason. You got to show them starting this week. So, okay. Any other matchups you think I missed? Anything on your mind about Dallas? How do you feel about Schottenheimer?
Don't think it was the
you
most.
Kind of forget that they even hired him.
It's just anybody with the last name Schottenheimer is just uninspired. Uninspired.
Does it change your opinion when you add an Eberflus to it?
No.
Okay.
I just don't think they're very good. And I think you raise a great point that when you start getting rid of your best players, I mean, I saw it here when they let Reggie White go to the Packers. Actually, that's the common denominator, right? Yeah. Two of the best defensive players in history going to the Packers. Yeah, that team was like, what is Bremen doing? What are we doing here? Do they want to win? Doesn't seem like it. So I think there's going to be some of that in the locker room.
Yeah, I'm fascinated to see like how the Cowboys look, like if they have juice to them. I think they will, because you're playing the Super Bowl champions and the banner and all that. So it's like naturally going to juice you up. But I just don't have high expectations for that Cowboys team. And I didn't before the Micah trade. I certainly don't after.
Yeah. I mean, I think it makes a huge difference. And I mean, I thought they'd be I thought they'd be better than Washington. I don't think that anymore.
All right. We'll take a break. We have questions coming up on the other side. Eagles fans, be a part of the Birds takeover in Kansas City with NBC Sports Philadelphia and Philly sports trips. Includes optional airfare, hotel, an exclusive pep rally, all-inclusive tailgate, ticket to the game, and more. Book your Eagles ultimate fan experience today. All right, Rube, we are back on the Eagle Eye Podcast. And we have question time. Eagle-Eye at NBCUni.com. You have a QR code. You can scan it and send it to us that way. The first one is from Bryce. I've been listening to you guys religiously for close to 4 years now. I'm going to Philadelphia for the home opener on September 4th, all the way from Kentucky.
Wow.
I've always said that when I make a trip to the link, it's going to be going to see the Birds play Dallas. I'm only going to be there that Thursday and was wondering what you guys think I should do that day before the game. What food should I eat? Should I walk around the stadium and tailgate? Thank you guys for all your insight you give the fans, all the insight you give the fans, and keep up the good work.
I'm just going to interrupt Bryce. We do have an injury report, and Landon Dickerson was full.
Okay, he's playing.
But I would get down to the stadium really early. That's how I would spend my day, because it's going to be a madhouse, and especially with the SEPTA situation. You walk around the park across the street. It's nice. They renovated it. It's pretty nice. I don't know. I would just get here as early as possible.
Yeah, I think it's going to be crazy down here, but the tailgate should be fun. If you get here and you want to walk around a little bit, see some of the scenes, I would do that. If you get up early enough, yeah. If you haven't been to the city and you're staying, I don't know where you're staying, maybe you're staying in Center City, walk around there a little bit, get some breakfast, maybe an early lunch, and then get down to South Philly.
You have a favorite breakfast place in the city you want to recommend?
No, I don't. Do you?
Kind of like Green Eggs.
Okay.
Big fan. Have a good trip, Bryce. Be careful, drive safe, and have a blast.
Yeah, I mean, it should be fun. I'm trying to buy some time because I'm tweeting out Landon Dickerson was a full participant. But
well, while you're doing that, I will just say officially Tanner did not practice. Jalen Carter with the shoulder was full. Andrew Makuba with the hammy was full. And Josh Uche with groin was full. So the only guy that wasn't full, and this is crazy for going into an opener, is Tanner McKee, your backup quarterback. So the entire starting lineup is 100% full.
And Makuba, by the way, we'll talk about that. Let's save that for the end of the show because I've changed my mind about who's starting.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Next one from John. Hey guys, I really appreciate your work and remain objective, even when analyzing a team you obviously care about. It translates to the quality of the pod, and I miss when I'm listening to podcasts for other sports. I'm in Utah and coming into town for my first ever game at the Link, Week 11 against the Lions. Any game day tips for a newbie? Same thing we just told Bryce. Maybe by then the traffic situation will be a little bit better.
Hopefully SEPTA gets the money they need and trains are running more regularly. Maybe we can, what's this guy's name?
This is John.
Maybe Bryce can call John after his
Let him
experience
know.
here.
Yeah, fill him in on the
give him some
specifics,
some tips. Yeah,
I do end up getting a lot of game day questions from people, and I will admit, like, we are not the best people to ask about game day experience because we have a very different game day experience than fans going to the game. So, like, yeah, a lot of that I'm unable to answer.
Yeah, because our game day experience does not involve drinking.
Speak for you now. It's certainly
my game day experience does not.
There was a few years where there were the same like tailgaters out here in this lot, and every time walking into the stadium, they'd offer me a beer. I always tell them, if you're ever out here when I leave, I'll take you up on it. Of course, like I was leaving so far after the game was over, they were never out there, but it was my way to politely decline.
Alex has some good information up here on the screen.
I
Show Speed was the guy who was.
Oh, interesting.
What does that mean? That's his name? I Show Speed?
Yeah.
You've heard of him?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What's his deal?
I mean, I'm not cool enough to know why and what he is, but I know he's a big deal.
Okay. I Show Speed. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so should we explain what happened? Oh, he's a media personality.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's a YouTuber.
Yeah.
His content is a mix of gaming streams, challenges, and reactions, primarily focused on popular games like Fortnite and FIFA. 20 years old. He has 5.4 billion views.
We're close to that.
We're close to that with the pod, yeah. I think if you line them all up end to end. His real name is, I Show Speed is not his real name.
That checks.
Darren Jason Watkins Jr. That's too close to Danny Watkins, Darren Watkins.
They shouldn't let him in the building
No.
over there. Next question from Art. Well, not really a question, but hi, Rube. Susie Quattro played Pinky Tuscadero's sister, Leather Tuscadero, on Happy Days. I have no idea why I retained that particular piece of trivial information from my childhood, but there it is.
I want to hear from the guy see if I got that album right.
I don't think we've heard back yet.
Okay.
I was curious.
It was a long
too.
shot. It was a wild guess, stab in the dark, but maybe.
From Bob. Hey guys, first let me say I'm a Cowboy hater, Birds fan big time. However, I think Jerry might be onto something. The Cowboys weren't going anywhere with Parsons, and to devote a major part of your salary cap to one guy, albeit a dynamic defensive force, seems foolish. The Cowboys need multiple players to compete, and this trade gives them an opportunity to pick up additional talent. The outcome is up in the air, but I don't think the trade is as ridiculous as it seems on the surface. Now, I like this email because I am open to hearing different points of view.
Micah Parsons is 26.
That's the thing. You can build around that guy.
Right.
He's entering his prime.
If he was 31, if he's 30, I agree, because you're not going to be good while he's in his prime. But this guy's prime is long enough that you could be good with him.
And here's the thing. This was not some master plan from Jerry Jones to flip a talented player and to get a bunch of draft picks. He tried to sign Micah Parsons and failed.
Yeah.
It would be giving him too much credit to think like this was a part of the plan the whole time, that they were going to, trade Micah.
Like it was a philosophical thing.
Yeah. Like even then, I think it would be the wrong way you just don't get rid of a guy like that.
Yeah.
But at least then I could get on board with the dissenting opinion. But no, that wasn't the case. He clearly tried to sign Micah, and he wanted to sign Micah. He just didn't want to do it with an agent present. He tried to sign him. He wanted to keep that player because he knew he was a good player. And then when he couldn't, he didn't get back a package that was worthy of the player.
Exactly.
Could it eventually work out for them? No. I just can't fathom. They would have to get so lucky with those draft picks.
And they're going to be late picks.
I think so.
Yeah.
The chance that you get one Micah Parsons isn't great. You're not going to get two.
Yeah. And
you're not going to get one.
The fact is, the Packers got, the Packers got better, appreciably better with the deal, which is only going to make that pick worse for the Cowboys because
you would assume.
Yeah. So
I think your best bet is that it falls in the early 20s.
Yeah. But it could be a lot worse than that.
Mm-hmm.
And he just turned 26. This is a kid. Young player. Yeah.
Okay. Next one from Andrew. And this
52 and a half sacks in 4 years, by the way.
Very good. We talked about this a little bit earlier, but you've discussed Quinyon traveling with the opposing wide receiver one. What if that wide receiver one is often in the slot? For example, CeeDee Line lined up in the slot 46% of his snaps last year. Would Quinyon travel with him and then Cooper jumps outside on those snaps? or would Quinion only travel if wide receiver 1 is lining up on the outside? I don't think Quinion's going in the slot. And he has that in his bag, I think, from learning it as a rookie, but I really doubt they would do that because they're so good in the slot anyway.
Yeah, and you touched on that earlier. There's no reason to.
Mm-hmm. In general, how much do you think Quinion will travel?
I don't have a good sense of that.
Mm-hmm.
I think it will happen sometimes. I don't think it's going to happen a ton.
I think there will be certain games where it's like obvious he should be.
Yeah.
And I think that'll really help him in a way because honestly, if a team can hide their best receiver opposite Quinion Mitchell, the ball's just not going to go his way.
Right.
Like you can influence the targets he gets coming to him by putting him on the best receiver because as good as he is, teams are still going to try to throw their number 1.
Why did ISO Speed need 4 black Escalades?
And a police escort.
And a police escort.
I don't know. How
many black Escalades do you like when you go do an appearance?
Just 2 these days.
Just 2, one for you and one for your posse?
Yeah, a posse.
Okay.
Yeah. Andrew had another part.
Me and Alex are your posse.
A second question. Cutting players is part of training camp. Over 1,100 players were cut last week on Tuesday alone. Given that these players had access to the playbook, schemes, situational approaches, etc., is there ever any worry of that information being relayed to opponents? Is it simply part of the business, or do teams withhold key parts of their playbook and schemes from bubble roster players during camp?
No, they don't. You really can't. But, and it'll be like you don't take your playbook with you. Playbooks are all digital. They're on tablets. So if you get cut, you're not taking that with you. Mm-hmm. You can't copy it onto a flash drive or anything. So, yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know how much like a new team is going to be like, hey, what plays are. I don't think there's a way that could help another team. Yeah. I just don't see it.
There's little things I think that they try to get, but it happens to everyone. So I don't think there's like an advantage anywhere because every single team goes through that.
And like you say, like, how many plays do the Eagles have? Like, what's a guy going to say? Like, here's 500 of their plays. Now go figure out which ones are going to. You might say they love doing this on 3rd and long or whatever, but I don't think there's a whole lot of help.
And that's probably true, but they will mine it. Like,
yeah,
they're not above that, especially during the season. You see, like, hey, that guy was with the Cowboys earlier this year. You don't think the coaching staff is going to pick his brain a little bit? Like, they obviously do that.
I think more likely with veteran guys who
sure.
maybe spend a few years in a place or know a coach really well.
Okay, next one is from Dan. Hey, fellas, been listening for a few years now and really appreciate all you do. There's not a lot of Eagles exposure here in California. My question is a bit of a test for you. You can work together or individually. Without looking it up, can you name the 11 opening day starting quarterbacks for the Eagles since 1980? If it takes too long, go ahead and look it up. Now, I did look it up because I was figuring how are we going to do this if neither of us know. So,
since 80?
Since 80. So, however you want to do, there's 11 of them. Now, some of them are obvious.
Jaws,
yes.
Jaws, then Randall.
That's 2 of them.
So Randall was through 95. So then, oh gosh, then you had like.
It gets a little tough here.
Like Bobby Hoying.
Bobby Hoying's one of them. You almost said another.
Ty Detmer. Did Rodney Peete ever start an opener?
He did, 1996.
Okay.
So it went Rodney Peete in 96, Ty Detmer in 97, Hoying in 98.
Okay, then you have Doug Peterson.
In 99. Yep.
Then you have a bunch of Donovans, like 10 Donovans in a row gets you to 09 was his last start. How many is that? 7?
That's sorry, I wasn't 1, 2.
So I have everybody up through Donovan, right?
That's 7, yeah.
And there's how many? 11?
11.
So only 4 more?
Mm-hmm.
So Kevin Cobb.
Actually 6. Maybe I'm not counting right, but
Kevin Cobb started the opener
in 2010, yeah.
And
then the same guy,
Michael Vick started 3. Nick Foles, Carson Wentz, Jalen Hurts.
Yes.
How many am I missing?
You're missing 1.
Sam Howell. Wait. Sam Bradford.
Yeah, you did it. That was good.
Okay.
Sorry to put you on the spot, but I figured if we both didn't look it up, we could do it, but then
Right.
we'd have to look it up at some point.
Yeah, Sam Bradford started the game in opener in 15 and played every game. that
Yeah,
year.
full disclosure, I might have struggled with that 4-year Detmer Hoying. I might have gotten there, but it might have taken me some extra guesses.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's crazy because Jaws started 10, Randall started 9, and Donovan started 10.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 29 of them right there. And this will be Jalen's 5th. Yeah. A good question.
That was fun. We'll do one more.
Yeah.
From Nathan. Question 1. With the abundance of linebackers the Eagles now have, how long is it until Howie needs to make some serious roster decisions with them, or can they all be kept long term? I assume one of Nakobe or Trotter will eventually have to go.
Why? Yeah, they're not making big money.
Yeah.
I mean, Nakobe's got a contract coming up, so we'll see what they do there.
And we've talked about Nakobe where, like, he gets back. I don't know if there's enough time for him to play before the trade deadline.
Right.
And then he's on an expiring deal anyway.
Right.
Trotter's the one I could see at some point getting dealt.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much, it's like you're not going to trade somebody unless you get value back. And I mean, he's had a good camp and I like him. I'm not sure what you're going to get for him, if it would be worth it. If Nakobe can show that he's healthy, maybe he would have some, but yeah, I don't know if he's going to have a chance to do that.
Second question. Do you think we will see a play where both Saquon and Shipley share the field, Shipley as a slot, or just some two-back trickery?
Maybe rarely.
Over under half a snap.
For the season?
Yeah.
Half a snap for the season?
Yeah. With both of them on the field.
I'll take the over.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah.
I don't think it'd be much.
No, you might see that 20 plays for the year.
That's pretty high.
10, 15. I don't know. But I think Kevin Patul's got a little something up his sleeve.
It's possible. I don't mind a little two-back.
Yeah.
Little 21 personnel.
Yeah.
All right. If you have a question for us, eagle-eye at NBCUni.com. I teased it a little bit, Rube. I think I've changed my mind. I think Andrew Makuba's starting.
Same.
So you have Makuba and Adoree Jackson.
Yeah.
At least for week 1.
At least for the first quarter.
Yeah, that's my guess. I could be wrong about that, but the vibe I got was a Makuba.
Yeah. And I talked to him on, I don't know what day today is. What day did I talk to him?
Monday.
Monday?
Sunday, I don't know.
And just talking to him, he just seemed very confident. His body language, I just got that vibe from him.
Yeah.
So yeah. Look, he missed a lot of time. 2 separate injuries in camp. He's just come back. Smart kid. Obviously had that. He only played 1 preseason game and had the 2 big plays. Vic who said, well, it's just a really bad pass. That was the one he picked off, but he made it. He made the play. So look, it's anytime you start a rookie, it's a risk. But I like what I saw from him, and I think he earned it.
I do too. And with him, like, eventually it was going to be Andrew Makuba.
Yeah.
Whereas at cornerback, maybe it is going to be Adoree Jackson all year. That's a possibility. Probably not likely, but they're at least open to that chance. Whereas with Makuba, they just drafted him in the 2nd round. They want him to play.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, it was just a matter of A, health, and B, the missed time. Because I agree. And I think I wrote that eventually he's going to be the starter. It's just, is it going to be week 1 or week 6 or week 3? I think Adoree was more just by default, like the lesser of 2 evils type, or 3 evils. Or I do think we'll see Jacorian Bennett at some point.
I do too.
Yeah.
Nice number change for him, by the way.
23.
23. That's better.
Yeah.
Even you agree with that.
Even I agree with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's better than 49 or 41.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't want to be in the 40s.
Prediction time.
Yeah.
Why do you think the Cowboys are going to win this game?
I just think they have a better coach, a better GM, and a better owner, better quarterback.
Yeah.
I picked 30-20 Eagles. It might not be that close. I just think weird things happen in opening day. I think the Cowboys will keep it close, like middle of the 3rd quarter. Eagles pull away and win by double digits.
The over-under is 47.5, so you have it hitting the over there. I would have it hitting the under. I have Eagles 27, Cowboys 16. I think that feels right. I don't know. I do think the Eagles will win, and I think they'll cover. I just think they're the much better team. You're right that wacky things can happen in openers. We've seen that before, but they're going to play a lot of really good teams this year. I do not think the Cowboys are one of them.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, we both got them winning by double digits.
Mm-hmm.
You're a little lower than me, but I think we're in the same.
A lower score, but I have them winning by one more point.
You do. Mm-hmm. It's big difference. Can't wait.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Why don't we do a podcast after the game?
I think we will. It'll be early on Friday morning, but we will have a podcast for you. Enjoy the game, everyone. We're looking forward to it. If you enjoy the Eagle Eye podcast, please rate and subscribe wherever you get your pods. If you're watching on YouTube, please click that like button and subscribe there as well. For Reuben Frank, I'm Dave Zangaro. This has been Eagle Eye presented by Nissan. We'll talk to you soon.